Welcome to theplug.io. I'm the IO, and in today's episode, we're diving into a fascinating journey exploring the colorful world of job classifications. Have you ever wondered why we label jobs as blue collar or white collar, and what these labels really say about us and our society? It's intriguing, isn't it? These terms are much more than just a matter of fashion or fabric. They're woven into the very fabric of our identities and social structures. So, let's unravel the threads of this complex tapestry and discover what these job classifications really represent. To set the stage, let's clarify what we mean by blue collar and white collar. Traditionally, blue collar jobs are associated with manual labor. Think of a factory worker or a construction worker, often spotted in durable, blue uniforms or overalls. On the flip side, white collar workers are those we usually find in offices, dressed in crisp, white shirts, performing administrative or professional tasks. But why do we even use these terms, and where did they come from? That's exactly what we're here to unpack. In this video, we're not just tracing back these terms to their origins, but we're also going to see how they've shaped and been shaped by the economic and social tides throughout history. We'll look at how these job classifications reflect broader societal norms and values, and what they mean for people's identity and social status today. So, let's get started and peel back the layers of history to uncover the story behind these everyday terms. Grab your popcorn, because this is going to be both enlightening and entertaining. Alright, let's rewind a bit and get into the nitty-gritty of where these terms, blue collar and white collar, actually come from. The story begins during the Industrial Revolution, a time when society shifted dramatically towards factory work and mass production. It was a period buzzing with steam engines, clattering machinery, and the rise of the manual labor workforce. The workers in these environments often wore blue uniforms or overalls, which were durable enough to handle the rough and tumble of factory life. This practical choice of apparel is what eventually led to the term blue collar. Moving over to the white collar workers, the scene shifts to the quieter, cleaner environments of offices. In the late 19th and early 20th centuries, as businesses expanded and bureaucracy burgeoned, there was a significant increase in jobs that involved administration, management, and financial services. The employees in these roles typically wore white, button-down shirts, a sharp contrast to the blue of the factory floor. This dress code was both a symbol of professionalism and a practical choice for an indoor setting, away from industrial grime. But these terms weren't just about fabric colors. They carried deeper economic and social implications. As the labor market diversified, these job classifications began to emphasize and even reinforce class divisions and societal perceptions. Blue-collar jobs were often viewed as less prestigious than white-collar jobs, which were associated with higher education levels, better working conditions, and more social prestige. This distinction reflected broader economic shifts and played a role in shaping social identities and class structures. These classifications provided a framework for understanding the changing dynamics of work during industrialization and beyond. They highlighted the differences in the nature of work, the environments people worked in, and even the paths their lives took based on the type of labor they performed. As we delve deeper into how these terms evolved, we'll see that they're more than labels. They're a lens through which we can view the changing landscape of work and its impact on society. So, as we continue to explore, keep in mind how these seemingly simple terms offer insights into the complex interplay of economics, culture, and class. As we journey through time, the evolution of the labor market offers a compelling tale of transformation influenced by historical events, economic shifts, and cultural currents. Let's explore some key moments that reshaped the landscape of blue-collar and white-collar jobs. Starting with World War II, a significant disruptor in labor markets worldwide, we saw a massive mobilization of resources and people. This era demanded an unprecedented workforce for the war effort, including women stepping into traditionally male, blue-collar roles in factories and shipyards. Post-war, the economic boom and the GI Bill in the United States catalyzed shifts towards more education, fueling the growth of white-collar jobs and setting a new direction for the labor market. Moving forward, the rise of the service economy marked another pivotal shift. As developed nations transitioned from industrial-based economies to service-oriented ones in the late 20th century, there was a surge in demand for jobs in healthcare, education, and information technology. This shift didn't just create more white-collar positions but also transformed many blue-collar jobs, which increasingly required technical expertise and specialized skills. Technological advancements further stirred the pot, automating many traditional blue-collar roles while simultaneously creating new ones in fields like data management and tech support. This technology wave also introduced the gig economy, blurring the lines between traditional job classifications with flexible, project-based work. The cultural impact of these shifts is profound. Media, literature, and politics have long shaped and been shaped by perceptions of blue-collar and white-collar workers. Classic films and books from the mid-20th century often glorified the rugged, blue-collar worker, portraying them as the backbone of society, while white-collar workers were either seen as aspirational figures or critiqued for the detachment from manual labor. In recent decades, television shows and movies have sometimes flipped this narrative, glamorizing the high-stakes lives of corporate executives and tech moguls, while portraying blue-collar workers in a more challenging, sometimes negative light. Such portrayals influence societal values and how people see their place in the work world, affecting everything from self-identity to career aspirations. This evolving media landscape reflects and reinforces changing social values, where the dignity of all types of work can be celebrated or questioned. It highlights the ongoing dialogue about what it means to work and how we classify the labor that keeps our societies running. As we look closer at the modern landscape, we'll see how old labels are being redefined and what that means for the future of work. Today, the distinctions between blue-collar and white-collar jobs are becoming increasingly blurred, thanks to sweeping changes in technology and education. Technological integration, for example, has brought about significant changes in the nature of work across the board. In many industries, manual labor roles now require technical know-how, as machines and digital tools become central to tasks that were once purely physical. Conversely, many traditional white-collar roles have become more accessible through technological tools that simplify complex tasks. Education, too, plays a crucial role in this transformation. With higher education becoming more accessible, and with the rise of vocational training and online courses, workers are better equipped to move fluidly between roles that were once strictly defined by class and educational background. This flexibility in skill sets is reshaping the workforce. Emerging from these changes are what are termed new-collar jobs, a concept introduced to describe work that doesn't necessarily require a 4-year college degree but does need a certain level of specialized training, often technical in nature. These jobs can include roles in cybersecurity, data analysis, and various tech-driven manufacturing positions, bridging the gap between traditional blue and white-collar definitions. There's also a growing discussion around no-collar jobs, particularly with the rise of automation and AI. These roles, often project-based and freelance, defy traditional employment models and are characterized by their reliance on digital platforms and non-traditional work environments. Looking at recent economic data, we see that these trends are having a significant impact. Job growth in technology-driven sectors continues to outpace traditional industries, and wage trends reflect the increasing value of tech skills, even in basic operational roles. However, the picture isn't uniformly positive. There's a growing wage gap between those with the skills to navigate this new landscape and those without, exacerbated by the global nature of modern businesses and the ease with which companies can outsource labor to lower-cost countries. Globalization and automation have further complicated the labor market. Automation, in particular, threatens many traditional blue-collar jobs, while creating new opportunities in sectors that design, build, and maintain automated systems. Globalization, on the other hand, has expanded opportunities for white-collar workers to engage in international markets but also increased competition and job insecurity for workers in industries vulnerable to outsourcing. These shifts are reshaping not just the classifications of jobs but also the global economic landscape, challenging us to reconsider how we define work and the social contract between employers and the workforce. As we adapt to these changes, the concepts of blue-collar and white-collar may become relics of the past, giving way to a more nuanced understanding of work in the 21st century. In the shifting landscape of job classifications, personal stories from individuals who identify as blue-collar or white-collar workers provide a human perspective on how these categories impact lives. Let's delve into a few case studies that illustrate these experiences vividly. Maria has been working in the construction field for more than a decade. She shares how being labeled as a blue-collar worker both empowers and limits her. "There's pride in what I do. I build structures that last generations," she explains. However, she also faces stereotypes about her educational background and skills. Maria notes, "People often assume I'm not tech-savvy, but I use advanced machinery and software daily. The industry has changed, but perceptions haven't fully caught up." David is a financial analyst who works in a bustling city skyscraper and sees his white-collar status as a badge of his educational achievements and a passport to a certain lifestyle. It's not just about wearing a suit, it's about the respect and opportunities it affords me, he states. Yet, David also feels the pressure to maintain a certain image and the stress of job security in a highly competitive field. There's an expectation to always be on, always climbing the ladder, he adds, highlighting the mental toll it can take. Lena, a cybersecurity specialist, represents a new breed of workers who don't neatly fit into traditional categories. She trained through online courses and certifications, landing a role that is technical and hands-on yet highly specialized. I don't wear a uniform or a tie. I might work from home in jeans, Lena says. She discusses the freedom and fluidity of her role but also the challenge of defining her professional identity in social settings. Explaining what I do can be tricky because people want to box you into old categories, she observes. Tom is a freelance designer who works remotely, often from different countries, embracing a lifestyle that traditional workers might envy. His job classification as no-collar comes from the lack of a fixed workplace or a typical 9-to-5 routine. I love the flexibility, but it comes with unpredictability, Tom shares. He talks about the benefits of meeting clients from diverse backgrounds but also the lack of stability and benefits like health insurance or a pension. Through these personal stories, we can see how job classifications affect more than just workplace roles. They influence social perceptions, self-esteem, and life choices. These interviews reveal the evolving nature of work and the diverse experiences of workers navigating their paths in a world where the lines between blue-collar and white-collar are increasingly blurred. Each narrative underscores the need for a broader understanding and appreciation of all types of work in today's economy. As we wrap up our exploration into the origins and evolution of blue-collar and white-collar jobs, it's clear that these classifications are deeply rooted in our history, shaping and being shaped by the economic and social fabrics of their times. From the rise of industrial and office work to the blurring lines brought on by technological advancements and global shifts, these categories tell a rich story of progress and change. Looking ahead, the future of the labor market seems poised for even more transformation. We can anticipate further blending of job roles with advancements in AI and automation, leading to new opportunities and challenges. The rise of remote and flexible work arrangements, especially post-pandemic, may also redefine traditional job classifications and workplace environments. I encourage you to consider how these evolving classifications impact social identity and mobility. How do they influence the way we see ourselves and others in the professional world? And what does this mean for future generations entering the workforce? Now, I'd love to hear from you. Tell me in the comments which collar you wear, or if the traditional categories still apply to your job. Feel free to share your experiences and thoughts on how your work classification has influenced your professional and personal life. And if you're curious, why not dive a little deeper into the history of your profession? Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video enlightening and engaging, please give it a like, subscribe to the channel for more insightful content, and don't forget to hit the bell icon to stay updated on our latest uploads. Your support means the world to us, and it helps us continue to bring fascinating topics like this one to light.